The Jews were given a choice. Do you want the Torah or not? So Hashem sends Moshe Rabbeinu to sell it to them. With very specific instructions. This is what you tell them. Lo pochos v'lo yoser, says Rashi. Nothing less, nothing more. What's the sales pitch? V'atem tiyu li mamleches kohanim v'goy kadosh. You're going to be an entire nation of leaders. That's what mamleches kohanim really means. And goy kadosh. A holy people, a holy nation. Is that what you want? He's not promising them olam haba. It's not in buchukosai teleichu v'nosati gishmeichem v'itam. I'll give you everything you need in this world. Those promises were not made when Klal Yisrael had to choose Torah. If that's why they're choosing it, Hashem is not interested. Don't choose it because of what you're going to receive. Choose it because of what you are going to become. And this really is the essence. The Torah speaks, okay, of giving the rain when you need it. It doesn't speak of olam haba. It doesn't speak about the world to come. When it talks about the reward, even in this world, it's only discussed on a national level, not on an individual one. Rain. When the country needs rain, it's going to get it. Be prosperity on a national level. Why does every individual choose Torah? What do you want to be? What do you want to live by? You want to live by values? You want to live for meaning? You want to know right from wrong? You want to understand what life really is? Torah is for you. The Rambam writes, although this is so obvious to what Jews are, the purpose of man's existence, says the Rambam, is to develop his wisdom. He defines what wisdom is. Knowing things as they are. The natural state of the human being is to live in illusion. To understand what reality is. And then the Rambam says, and the highest level of wisdom is understanding Yichudo Yisbarach, the oneness of Hashem. Living by truth and reality. Not by what's convenient. Not by what's comfortable. Comfortable in action, comfortable in thought, This is what an elevated people is. This is what Jews are supposed to be about. This is what we always were. We're interested in truth at any expense. We argue everything out. Today's thinking that everyone has the right to believe in whatever they feel like and don't have to defend it, and it's an insult to require that someone defends it. Challenging someone's beliefs is violating his rights. That's the antithesis of what a Jew is. Argue, argue, argue. We have to arrive at truth. It's a meeting of minds, nothing personal here. What's Torah all about? No, it's not a bunch of rituals. It's reality. We study, we question. We delve into things. We demand that things make sense. Being Jewish means intelligent living, sane living. You're all here, preaching to the choir. There's a danger. Perhaps that's how you got here. Or perhaps that's something you learned when you got here. It's so easy, even as an observant Jew, to slip into the mode of doing without thinking. Habit is it's instinctive. Habit's comfortable. You don't have to keep thinking. Human laziness is most expressed when it comes to thinking. You can be very industrious and still be lazy. Having to think, to question, to perhaps come to a different conclusion, do something differently than the way you did it yesterday. It's a challenge. To understand every time you do something, it's got to make sense. Without question, the battleground, the place we fight it out 3 times a day, for just going through habit versus thinking, is prayer. It's so easy for it to become a ritual. Remember, prayer is speaking with the Creator. He's interested in our input. He wants to hear our feelings on the way He's running the world. And even when they put together the standard text for davening, if you're connecting, no 2 people think the same way. Everyone's Shmoneh Esrei should be a different one. And depending on where you are in life, and depending on what you're going through on a particular day, whether it be the morning, the midday, at night, the Shmoneh Esrei is not going to be the same if you're really conversing with Hashem and sharing your feelings with Him. This true in everything we do. Prayer is the easiest thing to slip into habit because it's 3 times a day. And when you put on tefillin, do you stop to think about what you're doing? The Rambam describes what you're supposed to be like when you wear tefillin. You're supposed to be so connected, it's almost prophecy. His description of every time you see a mezuzah. Remember, mezuzah is a reminder. Mezuzah is a reminder. Every time you see a mezuzah, you should wake up from your trance, paraphrasing the Rambam. Forget about the vanities that everyone's into and get back to what you know real values are. If you notice the mezuzah, what are you looking at? The case. I mean, we've got interesting ones here. That's not what it's about. Mamleches Kohanim v'Goy Kodesh means a thinking people. We think about everything we do. And that's what's in it for us. That's what we chose. To be connected to reality. Of course, the number one reality is the Creator. To live that kind of life. That was what Hashem was offering and tells Moshe Rabbeinu, this is what you've got to present to the Jews. This is your sales pitch. If they want it, they get it. If they don't want it, don't try anything else. Don't tell them about Olam Haba. That's not why the Jews chose. That's not what Hashem wanted us to choose for. It's to be thinking people. Recognize that's elevated. It's a different being. A thinking person is a different being. Thinking person means to live constantly asking yourself, what am I doing? What is this for? What am I here for? Where does this fit in? Sister Sharm says, every situation in life you're supposed to ask yourself. There are 2 ways of dealing with this, or multiple ways of dealing with this. What are the ways that are going to bring me closer, and what are the ways that are going to take me away? That's what it means to be Jewish. Yeah, Jews over the generations, even since the Enlightenment, even the non-observant Jews are still obsessed with education. But understand where it's really coming from. It's coming from the fact that the Jew recognized the number one aspect of a human being that makes him human is thinking. Like Rambam writes, there is nothing else the human being does where there's not an animal that does better. The one thing we've got over them. How is it? We put them in zoos, they don't put us in zoos. We can harness everything in nature. And as big and strong, mighty as they are, they can't. We were given a different kind of intelligence. That's what the human being is made of. That's his fiber. The Jew is the one who actualizes what it means to be human, to use that intelligence, to be able to understand most difficult aspects of life and all the secrets of reality. all the way up to the unity of Hashem. That's why we chose it. That's why Hashem wanted us to choose it. And that's what we've got to live with. We've got to use our brains. The yeshiva is not a place that brainwashes you into keeping more mitzvahs. It's a place that trains you to think. Teaches you how to think, but above all, it teaches you that you've got to think. We study all day. So many of you would ever think that you'd study all day and into the night? Why did Jews do this? There's nothing like using your brains. There's nothing like thinking. Being critical, analyzing, asking, gathering information, processing it, being creative. That's what a human being is supposed to be, and it's the Jewish nation that got it. That's what it means to be a Jew. Don't stop thinking. Don't just be foam. Think. Then we're these special people. That's what Kabbalah Satorah was all about. That's why we accepted it. And that's what we are.